Hello, it's the Millennial Trucker here. Back at it again with another video. Talking about all things trucking, talking about all things millennial. And I want to talk about a topic that I have for you. Now, I want to talk about the personality of a truck driver. And do you have the personality of a truck driver? Do you? You think you do? Or you think you don't? You probably think you don't. If you're a millennial, you probably don't think you're the trucker type. So let's find out if you are the trucker type. I want to do the big reveal right now. There is no trucker type. There's none. And I know what you might have in mind. You might think of the southern guy, Confederate flag guy, driving a truck. Like all truckers are from the South. They're not. That's just a trope. Another trucker trope, popularized by the trucking movies of the 70s. Some of them were very terrible. If you look it up on YouTube for some of the trucker movies, they're very bad, a lot of them. But they have a common thread. They portray the trucker as being like a strong man. You know, think Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top, there's other movies. I can't really think of the name of, but if you look at all of them, it's usually the cowboy hat, cut off sleeves. You know, I guess truckers don't have sleeves, and and another trope is that they always get into bar fights. There's always a fight going on at a bar, roadhouse, like raw Patrick Swayze's with feathered mullets and just walking around in tight jeans doing roundhouse kicks at diners, just throwing people over tables and breaking them. You know, that's just the life of a trucker, and that's not true. It's not like we're fighting bikers all the time, you know, or we just have a chip on our shoulder. Maybe that was true in the 70s, you know, maybe 80s. I'm not sure about the 60s. That was kind of like the 60s it's kind of a haze of for trucking. I'm sure a lot of stuff went on during the 60s, but nowadays that doesn't happen. It's just, you know, we're mostly looking at our phones or we have too much social anxiety to really care about getting into a fight over something stupid. It's a different time. You know, the truckers that I've met come from all over the place. They come from all different backgrounds. You know, a lot of them, I met quite a few who come from other professions like programming, lawyers. Lawyers is kind of a big thing. You know, lawyers, they don't like being lawyers. That's a well-known fact. But I've met lawyers who are who turn truckers or just any profession. It doesn't matter who you are. You can drive a truck, especially if you like adventure. Here's another thing. If you like video games, trucking may be a good career you might think about, because it's all really one video game. You know, granted you only have one life, but I mean it's the same sort of. If you think of driving a truck as a simulation where you can't really run over people because you'll go to jail for that, where the object of the game is to be safe, to get the load from point A to point B, and in decent time, and to avoid DOT, which is acronym for Department of Transportation, which would be the villains in in this video game. It's like I know a lot of truckers that don't really see it the same way as I do, but majority of truckers avoid DOT at all costs. It's a cat and mouse game. Look at any look at Convoy, look at Smokey and a Bear. That's a really good example of truckers getting away from the law. And yeah, so if you don't think you have the personality of a truck driver, then you may be looking at it from the perspective of the tropes. Don't believe the tropes. Don't buy into the tropes. There's people from all over the place who are doing all different types of backgrounds who are doing truck driving. So don't even worry about whether or not you fit in, because truckers by nature raw misfits. You don't really fit into one category. So I guess in a way I might be saying if you're a misfit, then trucking might be for you, because you could choose your own adventure. You could do things that involve interacting with the people, or you could choose things that don't really involve interacting with people, just minimal. If you're just a straight up introvert. There's jobs for introverts, there's jobs for omniverts, there's jobs for extroverts. Just it's a wide open market. So anyways, so that's all I got for you for today. And don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Over and